So hello friends, and welcome once again to this step-by-step SQL tutorial for data analysis and software development, which is for absolute beginners. In this part we are going to discuss about select and select distinct. So in the previous part we created our database, and inside our database we inserted some values. So in the previous part we have already discussed about creating these two databases here. One is this database called DB School, and another one is this database called DB Superstore. And now in this part we are going to discuss about selecting values or viewing values in a database. So in the previous part our task was to insert into table, and now we want to view data, and there will be some conditions. So view data at some particular condition, view data without condition. So we'll start with very basic. The basic command of viewing data from a table is select star from table name. So whatever your table name is, you have to select a star from table name. So for example, if our table name is customers, so we can select a star from customers. Go to your database, go to SQL, and then simply write select a star. A star here means all. That means we have to view all the columns in this particular data table that we will write here. So select a star from, let's say, customers. So by writing select a star from customers, write this and hit go here, and now you will see that we have all the values here. We have all columns, we have all rows, because we have applied no limit, or we have selected all the columns, and we have not provided any particular condition here. So this is how select all from table. Now next thing is, what if we have many columns and we don't want to view data of all the columns, but we want to view data of particular columns. So let's say in our customers table here we have customer ID, customer name, and customer phone, email, and credit. What if we want to see only customer name and credit here? So we can write select this table, make sure it is selected. You can verify it by seeing here that we are inside server, then we are inside database, and then the table here. Go to SQL. Now you will see a query is already written here. Select a star from table where 1. You can delete this where. We will cover about this where clause in the later part of this video series. First we have to select data of particular columns. So instead of a star, write name of those columns. So you can double click on this also. It will type the name of your column. Then you can give a comma here, because we want to select one more column here, and then you can write credit. So select customer name, comma credit from customers. Now hit go, and now you will see that you have selected data of 2 columns only. So there are 2 ways of selecting here. First, if you want to see data of all columns and all rows, if you want to see data of only 2 columns and all rows. Suppose we want to add one more column here and we want our data to be in this order. First there should be customer name, then credit, and then there should be customer email. Because this is part of our data table, so we can write left inverted commas here. If you don't want to include left inverted commas in the name of these columns, then also the query will be correct. So in this case also the query will be correct, but remember, it is always a good practice to include these left inverted commas. Now after writing this query, click go, and again you will see that now 3 columns are printed. We can edit inline, we can modify our query, we can write 2 queries also. For example, select, what if we want only 1 column from this table? So select customer name from customers. Remember, if you have to write more than 1 query in your query box, so in that case you have to provide semicolon after writing 1 query. So once you have finished 1 query, write semicolon, then write your second query, write semicolon. If you have to write a third query, write your third query and write semicolon. So in this case we want to write only 2 queries here. Hit go, and you will see that 2 queries will be executed. Showing result of first query here is this particular table. So by running select, we will get a table, but that table will have some modified number of columns or whatever we have selected here. This particular query gives us a table, so we can use this query as a table also. So I will show you that example in some other part, but for basic what you have to do is, because we executed 2 queries, so you can see these 2 results are displayed here. In the second query we only selected 1 column, and that's why we have result of only 1 column. So this is how we can select these values. So let's say in our data table we have one more customer here, and the name of this customer is Vivek. Phone is, let's say, 4567. Email is vivek@slidescope.com, and the value of credit is by default 100. So because we created the table in such a manner that this default value was already set. Hit go. Now you will see that this particular customer is inserted in our table.